Okay, so maybe we can get started. So this is Anoop, your host and the founder of Germany's Calling. So I don't waste much time introducing myself. And this is Raghu's idea that we should introduce ourselves and the guest before we get started. So thank you, Raghu. We'll see how this goes. So our guest today is Pradyumna. He is an automation test engineer who came to Germany last year. I think it's been more than 1 year now, right, Pradyumna?
Yes, it's
Um,
been almost
yeah.
1 year.
And you came here on a job seeker visa. So I think all those people who are having questions related to job seeker visa and test engineer related, maybe domain specific questions, all those can be asked today. So let's get started. We are waiting for the first question. Okay, so if no one asks, then I will call up the names. Okay, we'll start alphabetically. So Ambuj, do you want to ask something?
Yeah, so just like I don't have any specific question, but just normally want to know like you are working since last 1 year. So how is your experience as of now, and what is your work-life balance with your work?
So thank you very much for asking me the question. My life is very smooth going, and the work-life balance is perfect here. I mean, you should work only for 8 hours, so that's it. Not more than an hour. I mean, not more than 8 hours. That's it. I mean, back in India, no, sometimes you have to stretch yourselves, but here there is no point of stretching. You just have to work 8 hours and then leave for the day. That's it.
Okay, nice, nice.
Yeah, I also remember that we used to have this word called stretching in India, but we never used this here. Yeah,
Yes.
Oh,
okay. So,
thank you.
next question, please.
Hey, hi Pradyumna, Govardhan here.
Hey Gordon, how are
Hey,
you?
Govardhan.
Hey, hi. I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, thank you.
Yeah. So I have a question regarding job seeker visa. Uh, could you please like elaborate it more on what documents I can produce for a birth certificate? Because that I don't have with me, and means if someone does not have a birth certificate, then in that case, like what documents we can produce while applying for job seeker visa, or the alternative documents.
So during my time, Govardhan, I did not submit any birth certificate during my interview at consulate.
Uh-huh.
But if they, I mean, I'm not sure if they have changed the requirements. But if you don't have a birth certificate, it's better that you get a birth certificate now, and
So
probably you'll have some this Panchayati Raj or some community where you can, I mean, birth registration and death registration. There's an
uh-huh.
office in the city there you can go and check whether your birth is registered there and you can get the certificate.
Okay, because see, in my case, like I didn't like I was born at home, so I there is no means my parents, they never register my name in name at panchayat or any office. So I'm afraid, like I don't think I'll get any certificate. But as you are saying, like when you applied that time, you didn't submit anything like that.
No, I was
Oh.
not asked for the birth certificate at all.
Yeah. So if you remember, in last call I asked you about did you pay anything for document verification? And I remember Anup, like some days back, Anup
Yeah,
shared one link where we have to pay some amount. But I think that amount is, again, it depends on case to case. If they ask, then only we have to provide, or we have to pay that amount. So, like I remember, like last time I asked you about that question. And one more thing, like in last call, I asked when this job seeker visa process is going to start again, and you said like it's better to check with the embassy. So I did call VFS, and they said so there is no confirmed date when this process is going to start, but it's on hold hold since last March or April. So that's what I heard. And I also reached out to one local visa service office, and they said like they started it and then again they stopped it. So it's not like they are not accepting any applications. So I'm not sure whether that information is legit or not. Just have to ask you, like, do you know anyone who is there on job seeker visa, or who has recently reached in Germany on job seeker visa?
No, Govardhan. So, as per my knowledge, they were cancelled since a year, almost last year, April, they were stopped. And no one, I mean, earlier who were approved, I mean, let's say, consider the situation before April 2020, if they are approved, if the visas are being approved already, and then they entered probably in the last quarter of the year.
Oh, in December.
November and December, exactly.
Okay. Okay.
But the
So
new
let's see.
were not taken post April 2020.
Oh, so I and again, like, not sure. Okay, yeah. Before that, what's the situation in Germany? Like in India, it's very bad. So in Germany, like government offices and all those things are open, and how the work is going on there.
I mean, right now,
Yeah.
the offices are not fully opened. I mean, some are working from home and some are only coming to the office and they're just working for 5 to 6 hours and then they're leaving for the day. So everything goes on an appointment here. So if you have, I mean, if you have some work with the government, you have to send an email to them and they give some random date for you and you should be available on that day and time.
Oh, okay.
That's what I expect.
So, Pradyumna, I was having question related to the impact of elections, which are going to be in September. So, whether there would be any impact of elections on job seeker visa. So, like, I just wanted to know, because right now there is no confirmed date when this process will again start. So,
I have no idea on this question.
So election in India or in Germany?
No, in Germany, I think in September
Okay.
there are elections.
Okay.
But not sure how it gonna impact JSV. I'm clueless on it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's hope.
what I also heard about this is like the current chancellor is the person who introduced the job seeker visa, I think. And
Yes, Merkel.
yeah, and since she is leaving, there might be an impact, but I have no idea about it. So we have to wait and see.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Just a comment on job seeker visa at this time. Always check the VFS Global website and the embassy website. They will clearly say if they have opened, and do not believe any consultancies that say that they have opened and will start processing.
Yeah.
Because I came across an individual that had paid some hefty fee, though they are not open at the moment, and he was told they will open shortly, just wait for it. So his money is sitting like 60,000-70,000. It's sitting with the consultancy. I won't name that consultancy, but it's a very famous consultancy.
And what do they do with the application? So do they help him get a job, or how is it?
Yeah, no, they help. There are two things in it, as far as I remember. The first process is helping you with the application process, helping you with the documentation, and all that. The second part is, they sell your resume, they market your resume. So based on, these are the two services that they offer, and they can charge anywhere like between 80,000 to 1,20,000-30,000.
Oh.
So this will also include scheduling an appointment with VFS, helping you with all documents, changing your resume a little bit for marketing purposes.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, with the amount of knowledge that we have in this group, even if job seeker visas open, it should not be really a need for someone to go to a consultancy. It's pretty straightforward. I'm sure Pradyumna can also make a comment on this. But what I'm trying to say is, just don't pay any fee to consultancies, even if job seeker visas are open, because you really don't need it. The only thing that you would need is, I think you need to show little proof of funds, where you might have to manage a little bit.
Yeah, thanks, Raghu. As I was not going to pay to this consultancy, I was there to check what's like how they make people fool, because the same thing happened with me as well. Just like day before yesterday, I had a call from consultancy and they said they like right now job seeker visa means embassy is not accepting applications for job seeker visa. So what they will do is like they will prepare my application, they will keep documents ready, and they were offering some job search package as well along with that. And then they said like we will also help you to get settled in Germany. So I was just means I was just listening. I tried to gather as much as information I could from them, but this group is really helping me out a lot, because I already know many things, so I didn't fall for their like their trap. What they were like, the consultancy person was saying, we will definitely get you job, the 100% job guarantee and all those things. Yeah.
Even even I think Angela Merkel will not be able to guarantee job anyone on a fun, lighter note. Yeah. So yeah, just for as a general information for everyone, don't fall for the trap of consultancies. Whatever they say, do your own research and take a decision.
Yeah. And I also remember my case. So when I was applying for this employment visa, I already had my job offer with me, but I did not knew the process of getting the visa. So I approached one of these famous this consultancy, and they quoted me 90,000 for just getting an appointment and helping me with the documentation. I just said no. So I can expect a much more amount for a job seeker visa, because yeah, of course, there's more
Well,
to do
that's
in that case.
they might demand more as well.
Yeah. Okay. So I see Bio Research Foundation having some question. That's awesome. Okay. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
My name is Hari. Actually, I was thankful to everybody being here, and I was thankful to Anup Nair, who is giving a great efforts to make these Zoom calls and arranging meetings and making more YouTube videos. And I was talking to Prayutma also. He's giving his time to answer the questions and helping everybody. My question is like, what are the like job opportunities for in the part of women, and what is the experience, actually the minimum experience? It comes on the companies. It varies of companies, but in the part of women, so what they really ask for developers, and what they really need for Android developers and everything, because I don't have any idea about this.
So Hari, welcome Hari to this group. So thanks for joining this. I know, I mean, I'm not sure if I got your question correct. So you're asking the job openings and the scope for Android developers, is it?
Yeah.
Specifically for women, I think.
Yes.
See, irrespective of a gender here, you will have openings, and especially for Android or developers, I see good openings here. And I see that you should be very good at Java and Kotlin here, and also good at this release management and build management tools. And then followed by this Node.js language is something related to TypeScript, or I mean I see an opening in Swift as well, Swift and iOS as well for the development.
Okay.
And the minimum experience, that depends. If you are looking for a JSV, I mean the job seeker visa, you should have a minimum 5 years experience. But then, though you have, I mean, it can be lesser experience as well, and there are chances if you can try from India as well.
Okay. And another one question I have, Actually, I have really like nearby 3 years of experience in Gulf as a site work in site office. But now I want to change my career to IT. How it will be, whether if I am applying for job seeker visa, will it be a negative point for me, or like the experience what I have had in different domain will be also added in the job seeker visa? Can we add in the job seeker visa?
You can add it. I mean, you can add it to your resume and showcase that you have 5 years of experience or 4 years of experience. I mean, the earlier 3 years of your site experience. But most probably, I'm not sure if they're gonna consider that experience, because they see that your 16 years or 15 years of education should be related to your job profile. That's what they look.
Okay. Actually, and another question I have: what is the exact proof of fund we need for a job seeker visa? Yeah.
So for the job seeker visa, you should have 6 lakhs of INR, and which is replicates to 6,300 or 6,500 euros for 6 months.
For 6 months. Okay.
I mean, that
And
can be in your
yes,
bank account. That can be, I mean, you can maintain or you can show the funds in your Indian salary account.
Okay. Actually, I had a gap, like 1 year this year. I had a gap because I didn't go Gulf, and I resigned job at last September. So this gap, I have to show this gap to them, or like when they are asking questions about the gaps in a visa interview, really it will be a negative point, or like what? I don't have any idea.
So including the gap, what is your total experience, Hari?
I have 3 years of experience because I went in 2017, and nearly like 2020 September I left my job due to this COVID.
Okay. So I mean, for 3 years, I mean, though you include the gap or exclude the gap, you have 3 years of experience. So probably for 3 years of experience, JSV might not be approved. At least you should have close to 5 years. I mean, 4.5 plus something like that. And then you
Okay.
have already applied for a few jobs from India, and you have some positive responses from the employers, and that can be submitted, and that will be an added advantage during the interview.
And another one thing regarding the language, when we come to like job seeker visa, applying job seeker visa, if we have like B1 or B2, will they consider like what is the minimum requirement for language certification in job seeker visa?
So for job seeker visa, there is no requirement for the German language.
Okay.
But to make your life simple in Germany, you should be good at German. I mean,
Okay.
until A2 before you come, and keep practicing the regular, I mean, the common sentences that you speak to, some to your friends, or when you want to go to grocery shop and buy some stuff, or you want to find something. So this general sentence you have to practice a bit more to make your life easier here.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. That was my question. I got a clear idea from you. I was really thankful for the videos, and really thankful for Anup. He's making such a good, work. He's helping everybody, and really got the support of the role. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I would also suggest one more thing. So since you are already, I think 3+ years, so wait till you complete 5 years. But meanwhile, also start applying to jobs in Germany and see how the responses are. So based on those responses, you can, better judge your capabilities and, also improve your skill sets probably, and see where you actually have to land once you are in Germany. I mean, which industry you want to work with.
Sure.
Yeah. So we have another question from Kiran. So Kiran, you can ask your question now.
Hello. Hi all. I hope
Hi,
I'm
Kiran.
audible, and thanks
Yes.
for organizing this. I have few questions to Pradyumna. and a few questions. Maybe someone can answer,
Mhm.
Anup or Raghu, whoever. So yeah, I think I've spoken to Pradyumna earlier also. So I'm into automation testing. So what level of German that I should be ready with before I know that the job seeker visa is on halt now. So I'm preparing by my own. So going through few Udemy courses. So yeah, so what level of German that I should be ready with when the job seeker visa starts?
Hey, Kiran, how are you doing? It's been almost a week or 2 weeks that you got in touch here. So how are you doing?
Yeah, great, Pradyumna. Thank you. Thanks for motivating.
And it's all Anoop's group, so I'm just part of it and just helping others.
No, it's all our group, so I'm not doing anything there. You guys are interacting with each other. Yeah.
So, Kiran, to answer your question, there is no requirement of German language for job seeker visa. And coming to your experience, and then you started, as I heard that you started applying the jobs from India. So it's good to have minimum of A2 German skills on your profile, and most probably, you'll have better chances if you have B1 as well. A2 is also fine, but B1 would increase your chances of getting a job or getting shortlisted by companies.
Okay. So I feel at times demotivated because I'm all alone learning German through Udemy courses. So I'm curious to know how long the the minimum time that I need to prepare to appear for A1. So if someone can answer, so if they have tried it by their own, so I cannot afford the training that they charge here. So yeah.
So, no, one good suggestion, there is a group in our Discord. There is a channel that people keeps practicing the German language here in Discord. So you can be a part of that group and keep yourself engaged. And as per my knowledge, see, let's say you learn till B1 or B2, that's okay, but you should be very good at speaking as well.
Hmm.
The- Clearing the certification doesn't make you good enough to speak, because I don't have any certifications, or I don't have any prior knowledge before coming to Germany. As soon as I entered here, I started listening some words from the people who keep moving around me, and I also started myself learning on the YouTube, and then at least I'm able to survive with the daily life activities that I'm doing here in Germany.
Yeah.
Helps, Kiran, or Anup can add more to this.
Yeah. I think you have already covered everything. So if you're coming to Germany for on a job seeker visa and also the automation test engineer role, I think it doesn't even matter if you learn even till B1 or B2, because you won't be able to interact with people with just that degree. You need to be at least C1 or maybe C2 to properly speak with people. So, but it's just about learning German on a basic level so that you can interact at a very low level with the daily life related stuff. So going to the supermarket and paying your bills and maybe some small chit chats with your house owner or something. So just to understand what they are speaking, you can maybe learn till A1 or A2. And regarding your question about um, applying for this course, what was it? The certificate, right? So for the certificate, I would say just try some mock tests before you actually do the certification, because you never know what kind of questions are there. So maybe try with some mock questions, and also join our Discord channel, which is right now not very active, but yeah, there are some plans to make it more active and engaging. So we will also plan out some maybe monthly, or we'll see if weekly meetings are possible. So not immediately, but maybe in the near future. We'll try to have some meetings for only German speaking people. So just to, interact with each other in a very basic level, but only in German.
Yeah. So my 2 cents of advice. There is a free A1 course by IIT Madras that started some time back. It also ended. Hopefully they'll have another batch. I will share the link in this chat and also in the Discord group. Maybe I'll share it in the Discord group in the general section. The IIT Madras has conducted a free course starting on 18th January, and it's going to end on 25th April. Hopefully they'll have another session. But also, I think they also have recorded the videos. I'll send you the link of that website. You can see there. It's totally free. The second suggestion that I would offer is to start watching shows on TV with German subtitles, German shows. The best thing I can recommend is an animated series called Peppa Pig. Just watch it with subtitles and you will learn a basic German very easily. The confidence or the good thing about talking German is first you have to learn the most commonly used words. So there is the certification part where you get certification by studying something. The other part is speaking. So watch as many movies or as many basic animated series or anything that is in German, very basic, to help you get there. So I'll share that link in the group.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks. That'll help. Yeah, the next question I have is probably Pradyumna. So the technology stacks that we should know for an automation testers in German, right? So what are the must-have skills?
Must is a programming language. The first comes the programming language. Be it any programming language,
Right.
very strong in it. Whether it's a Java, JavaScript, Python, it doesn't matter. You should be very strong at it. In such a way that with the basic Selenium or the programming language, you should be able to develop an end-to-end test automation framework, and then push it to the GitHub. And then you should also have a good idea on GitHub comments, and then how you'll integrate. I mean, the process of integrating it within Jira or in a defect management tool, HPLM, something like that. So this end-to-end process you should be very well known to it. And the core is a programming language here. I mean, whatever you work on, it's an API testing, mobile automation testing, that doesn't matter. But it's good to have any two of them in your resume. Either it's a mobile automation plus API or web plus API, anything, any combination would work.
Great,
But
thank you.
core is the programming language here.
Right. Yes, on the back of this, so what about data structure and algorithms? Should we be well versed with this? Will they be asking questions related to algorithms during the interview?
So that completely depends upon case to case. And as per my experience, wherein I was asked directly a Java question, wherein there was completely data structures for one company, and I had to solve it during the interview only. And only out of 6 to 7 interviews I faced, I have only got one interview there wherein they have asked me question on data structures. But you should be aware of data structures as well, because you have to implement your automation framework using data structures, using linked list or double linked list.
Okay, thank you. And yeah, so if we try from India, so my current notice period is 3 months. So will the German company wait for me
Definitely
till I resign?
Definitely they will wait for you, because the standard notice period here in Germany is 90 days. So they will definitely wait for you.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the same case there as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so last question, maybe. Yeah, so what are the opportunities for manual testing?
So manual testing, when compared to openings, the automation testing has a higher number of openings when compared to manual.
Does that still exist? Something called manual testing? I used to do that. I was in manual testing for 5 years, so that's why I'm asking.
No, they are still openings. I mean, especially related to banking,
Yeah,
you have to focus more on manual testing.
yeah.
Anup.
So mainframes.
Yes, but very few. Hardly 1 or 2 openings you might come across, and they expect a lot there. I mean, you have to get certified in ISTQB, professional ISTQB, everything. But
So I'm just thinking. Yeah, so I'm just thinking, in the worst case, even if I come there with the job seeker visa, so if I don't able to crack the automation interview, so I'll have a chance to try out manual testing. So I'm just thinking loud.
But definitely, if you're upskilled yourself and good at what you're working on, you'll definitely get a job here once you are here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Welcome. So we have Star who wants to ask something.
Anup, Vasista here. Thanks for connecting again. I had joined last week session also. Okay.
Yeah, welcome.
Pradyumna, I have a doubt regarding what are the demanding tools, automation tools in Germany?
Tools or the languages you?
Like language, as you said, for current question, as you said, we have to be good in at least one programming language. So regarding the tools, for example, Selenium WebDriver Selenium is a tool, Cypress or something else. So like that, I'm asking, is there any demanding tools in Germany currently?
No, whatever the demand in India, the same you have, and the same tools you have demand in Germany as well. We have openings on Cypress, we have openings on REST API, we have openings on the web application automation, the front end automation.
Yeah, got it.
And also on mobile automation as well. Then what I see is, on a scale of 5, I see more openings on mobile automation these days, especially using APM and Xcode.
Okay, got it.
And for that, any programming language should be fine. I mean, coming predominantly on programming language, people are using JavaScript more here rather than Java and Python. JavaScript is being mostly used here.
Got it.
But at the same time, you see good openings on Java and Python as well.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
Okay.
Maybe, yeah. So on the follow-up question, so JavaScript, we have many frameworks at the moment. So which framework are in high demand?
Nightwatch is being used. Mocha is also being used.
Are these unit testing frameworks?
No, you can develop the UI testing as well with this Nightwatch and Mocha. You can develop
Okay.
Again, those are related to JavaScript only, right? Mainly.
Yes, yeah.
This whatever you said,
Hey, Kiran, I would like to add more on that. So not recently, but just 1 or 2 months back, I had an interview. So basically, I gave 2 interviews. One was for the Cypress, and the other one was for the WebDriver IO. So that's what I have seen. Many companies, they prefer Cypress, and I think on stepstone.com, I think. Yeah, on that site, I have noticed this trend. So many companies where JavaScript is preferred, they go for Cypress. And in Cypress, as you said, we can use for assertion, we can use Jest or any other tool such as Jasmine. We can use those libraries. So that way, but I think if you know JavaScript, then you can work on any tool. Let it be the Cypress or the WebDriver IO or the Behat. So some of companies, they also if PHP is the development language, then they go for the Behat. So that's what I have seen.
Yeah, thanks for that. So can we also think of something like gathering all these interview questions, so it can help someone like Pradyumna. He had attended many interviews when he was there, and yeah, Govardhan says he has attended too. So can we also think of gathering these questions, and probably we can share each other, or it'll help someone.
Yeah, on a very broad level, there are no specific questions, but they will ask more about what you can offer or what you can do to automate their application. So mainly they will ask you to automate their website, and based on that only, whatever code or whatever automation framework you provide, they will ask you question on that. So but yeah, like if there are any language specific questions, then definitely we can we can create a page where we can mention those questions. But very few language specific questions I have faced till date.
Yes, Anup.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Pradyumna, as like Govardhan asked, sorry, Govardhan said that they will give to have to automate their website.
Correct.
During interview. So it will be in 1 hour or half an hour, whatever the time they gave to us. We have to automate particular flow, whatever they're showing to us.
Correct. Yeah, that is expected. I mean, that's okay. I mean, some companies, they give you a task and they give you a week's time,
Okay.
and they'll expect you. I mean, they give you 3 tasks. I mean, one is about manual testing, and other is bug reporting, and the third is the automation testing.
Okay.
So in the third, they expect you to develop an end-to-end test automation framework, and then automate the scenarios whatever they have given you. I mean, you create more reusable methods,
Okay.
and following the proper coding standards, having some reporting structure.
Okay.
That's what they expect to have in your framework.
Okay.
I mean, whether you're following a page object model or page factory or BDD with Cucumber doesn't matter. But they leave up to you. I mean, you can start in whichever programming language you're comfortable in and whichever framework you're comfortable in.
Okay. Got it.
And some companies, they ask you to share your screen and then ask you to develop or automate that particular scenario.
Okay.
I mean, depending on the time frame of the interview, let's say if you have 1 hour of time, they'll expect you develop a basic framework and then automate that scenario.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Hello.
So Vasishtha, you're a part of the Discord group, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'll reach out to you there. I just saw your message.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
No, no problem.
Hello, Uma. Can I ask you one question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, I want to know about the Python development. What are the areas of being focused in Python frameworks, and how about the interviews in Python?
Probably Anup can answer more on Python development, I believe, rather than me.
Yeah, so on a high level, the scope for Python is really good in Germany. And I also interviewed one recruiter who recruits people for Germany into the Python development related jobs. So you can also watch the YouTube video in our channel. So it's a really informative video. Yeah.
Yes, I saw the interview with Mr. John, right?
Yeah, exactly. John Norris.
Yeah, but actually what I'm asking means, what are the areas to be focused, if you want to start a career in IT, it will be helpful to many of the, my juniors. I can guide them regarding that. What are the things to be focused? What are the areas in the Python like that?
Yeah, so when you do Python, it's better to also take up a framework and be, specialized in that particular framework. So the framework like Django is really famous, and I think it has a lot of scope in Germany as well. I'm also a Django developer here, and I think if you start looking and working into Django even while staying in India and build up your skill around that, then I think you have a lot of opportunity once you are in Germany. So if you just do a normal LinkedIn search with Django and select Germany as the location, you will find how the opportunities are and what are the skill set required for that particular job, apart from having the knowledge about Django. So that's one framework, but there are a lot of other frameworks like Flask. So I'm talking about the web development. So Django, Flask, and when it comes to machine learning and AI, there are so many other things. So it is your interest where you actually want to go after doing the basics of Python. So I think that's individual choice.
Yeah, actually, for AI, artificial intelligence.
Mm.
So, what is the frameworks, we have to focus on? How about the things really working in Python with AI? For example, creating an application in AI. So, how about it works?
I think that's not related to our meeting today because I'm also not an expert in AI. I'm more into web development. So maybe this question should be part of the development channel we have. I mean, the backend development or something, or the data structure, right? I don't remember how exactly it is called. So
Okay,
maybe
okay.
we have more experts
Data
there who
analyst.
can answer these questions. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Okay. Welcome. Do we have more questions which Pradyumna can answer?
Yes, I have one question. So what about the cover letter and the resume format? So should this be in German or any format that we should follow?
No, it can be in,
Can we use the same?
yeah, it can be in English. And if you have your resume in German, you will be facing a lot of issues because they'll be reaching out to you in German and probably they'll expect you to speak
Yeah.
some good German. So it's better to maintain your CV in English and maintain some standard resume formats that we follow in Europe.
So we already have some sample resume formats on our website. You can also have a look into that.
Okay. CV, even the CV can be found there, is it?
No, then see, there is
Cover
no
letter.
format for a cover letter actually.
So,
So it's
oh,
general plain document. If you want, you can have some templates by your own and just design it to look some elegant look. And I mean, I generally use it in a plain document. Just write what I generally do is, I cut short my resume and provide it in a shorter way. I mean, I give my summary of my resume in the cover letter actually. That's what I did during my job search.
There is also another video that Anup and I made, like a Q&A. I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, where we covered a little bit more about cover letter and resume. So you can also go through that.
thank you.
Pradyumna, I have one question for you.
Yes, go then. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So what is you worked in QA or automation QA in India, then you moved into Germany. So what are the challenges or the differences you faced, the work cultural differences you faced when you start working for a German employer? One thing that's for sure, you said we don't have to stretch in Germany, but you must have to work very sincerely for 8 hours. So just brief about what is your experience and how you how much time you took to what I say, to adjust yourself in German culture, work culture.
So no, it's okay to relax in the 8 hours. I mean, you can relax for an hour or half an hour here in Germany as well. You will get some time to relax as well. You have to be sincere at job, but sometimes if you're feeling, if you're not feeling well, it's okay to take some time and go out and have some coffee and then come up, and you can chill here as well. There's no problem. And coming to my work experience, earlier when I was in India, I worked in teams and also as an individual contributor. So during my initial days of my career, I had to work in teams. There I used to get some support from my seniors, and they used to help me in each and everything wherever I was stuck. But gradually, as my experience got increased, I had to deal things on my own. And here I am exactly doing the same, because people here expect you to handle things on your own. I mean,
Exactly.
they'll give you ample of time, but they'll expect you to handle it by yourself. I mean, you can take help, but with a minimal help, you have to complete your task. That's the reason why they have good expectations on your technical skills.
Okay.
So I mean, let's say you're working on let's say if you have a team of 5 or 6 QA people, and each will have a different task. You'll not work for the same project, but for me, you'll be working, though you're under the same manager or same lead, you'll be working under different projects, and you'll be owner of that QA project.
Okay, so like the person whom sir is working in that particular project, he is responsible for all activities done, like QA activities done for that project. Okay.
Correct.
So the functional, then the automation and the release process. So he is responsible for all tasks.
No, that might not be the case for everyone. See, let's say if your job description is only manual testing, but no release management and manual testing, you'll not be given that job to do it.
Okay. Might be release support.
Whatever they have given your job description, that is only expected.
Oh,
Not out of your job description here.
okay.
Yeah, but if you're going to a startup, then be ready to, have other responsibilities as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But also, since you have touched upon this point, I would also like to tell that there is a strict, the German companies are very strict about the probation period. So don't expect that since you have got a job offer, that means you really got a job offer. So they also check you during the probation period. So if you are not up to the mark as per the interview and you do not perform better or as per their expectation, then you can get fired within those 6 months. So be ready for that as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Anup, does that does it impact on your profile, like the person who is getting fired? Because like the next company, when he applied, that time he must have to explain why he has left that company in 6 months. So does that negatively?
Of course. I mean, if you are showing that you worked in another company for 3 months, then there might be a question that why did you left after 3 months? And yeah, of course.
Okay.
And here they take it seriously. So in India, I remember that the probation period was just, on papers. It was never, I have not seen anyone getting fired during the probation period. But in Germany, I've seen people, and I have also heard about this from a lot of people. Yeah. So make sure that if you're coming to Germany and you have a family, don't bring everyone in the first go. Maybe just stay here for 6 months, get settled, and then bring others. Your family, your spouse, and your kids, probably.
That's I would say that's very important advice then.
Yes.
Because, in job seeker visa, I'll have to leave my job in India. Then if I come there and don't take my job seriously, then everything will go wrong. Yeah. Thanks, Anup.
Even I didn't knew this when I came. I also brought my wife and my kid. But then later on, I realized that this thing can also happen. And in India, we do not take this probation period seriously, but in Germany, you have to. And the companies are also, they don't have to give you a solid reason to fire you. They can fire you in a notice period of 1 week or so. So they don't have to give a notice period of more than 1 week.
Oh.
So
and
usually,
that's completely legal.
Yeah,
that's completely legal in the law.
Yeah.
In the law that says 6 months is the probation period, and within like 2 weeks notice or 1 week notice based on whatever is written in the contract, that's the notice that they all have to give you, nothing else. But of course, this is something that all of us will have to go through in Germany, but first 6 months should be very seriously taken.
Yeah. And whatever you show in your interview, whatever skills you talk about in the interview, make sure that you actually possess that, because they will be testing those in your probation period.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, so yeah, follow-up question on that. So how does it impact on a person who has come there, job seeker visa, right? So will it, how it impacts on his 6 months stay there? Let's say he got a job after 4 months, and in
Mhm.
2 months they are saying, okay, so we don't want you. So my 6 months got over there.
No, that's
No.
not the case, Kiran.
Okay.
So once you're on a job seeker visa here, and let's say if you got an offer within 2 months or 4 months, consider, I mean, assume that you got a, or someone got after 4 months, and once you got an offer letter, you have to convert your job seeker visa to a blue card or a work permit, and that work permit will be valid until your contract. I mean, let's say if you got an unlimited contract, and your blue card or work permit will be given for 4 years. Till that visa is received, you cannot start working. So that job seeker visa, JSV is only for you to, I mean, to search for the job, not to work. So
Yeah.
let's say once you join the company and due to reasons you got out or you got fired, but then your visa will be still in. I mean, your visa will be still valid, and you can still look for opportunities.
Yes. And it doesn't count towards your 6 months of job seeker visa duration.
Because job seeker visa will no more be valid to you because
Yeah.
you are already in a work permit.
All right. Thank you. And yeah, again, the challenging thing, the next would be like, how do you convince your next employer?
Yes. So it's
So
always
have
good that
you,
you be prepared and do everything correctly for the first 6 months at least. Yeah.
right? Do we have any examples like they got the second, the second employer contract?
I think you also have only, I don't know, maybe Pradyumna, you can correct me. So if you get fired, then you have only 6 months or so to get a new job, right?
It's 3 months.
3 months. Oh, okay. Yeah. Then within
So
3 months, you have to get the next job. Otherwise, you have to go back.
yeah, I mean, let's say if you're on a valid employment visa or blue card, that permits only to look for a job only for the maximum of 3 months.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, Kiran, so I've seen people wherein, I mean, company did not fire him, but they got a better opportunity and they left to another company. Hope
Yeah,
that answers your question.
yeah, that is also possible, right? Yeah. So
Yeah,
do they? So yeah. So can we convince anything to the new employer saying, I left the previous company because of so and so reason? Will they go back and check with my previous company?
that's I'm not
Like,
sure.
can we say, in
But there are high
India
chances
it works. Like you can say a lot of things.
yeah, but everything is official here, so I mean, they have chances that they can check what you have done in your past with your past employer.
And I would say integrity matters a lot here. You cannot lie to your current employer if you want to, not get fired again. So just make sure that whatever you say, it's truth, and they can check it anytime. And if they find that you are falseful or saying some false information, then they can fire you immediately. So that's a strong reason for firing you, and law allows it. So if you're breaking the integrity, then of course they can fire you. So don't lie about the past experience or why you left the company. That's my suggestion, but yeah. Okay, we have 1 more minute, but I don't know if we can take up a question now. Do we have any quick questions which Pradyumna can answer? Govardhan has unmuted, so maybe.
Now, no question related to employees and job seeker visa. Just wanted to know what do you do on Saturdays or weekends?
Me, yeah, I play with my
Yeah,
kid, spend time with my wife, maybe sometimes cook and
Okay.
go out. We have a park nearby, so just go out and do some sunbathing there. Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, would it be possible for you to make any video outside your room? Like your room is nice, but just wanted to see the outside. Like
Yeah, so I have some plans of making vlogs. So what you're asking about is a vlog where I create videos of outside, how things are, how people are, and yeah. So
yeah.
I have some plans. We'll see when I can start doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that will
just-
give you an idea of how, how the public transport system is and how the parks are
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
how people are
And-
dressed up and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing for the Raghu and Pradyumna. Like any
Yeah.
weekend plans, like what do you do on weekends?
It's been more than a year for me, and I mean, it's all COVID for me. As so, I've not been to many places here. I mean, outside Germany, I've been to a couple of places. I mean, I've been back to Germany in December once again. I mean, I visited India in September last year and came back in December. And as soon as I re-entered Germany, there is another lockdown, and that is still extended till April. So
And
I did not get much time to explore Germany.
yeah, and I believe like you three, like Anup, Raghu, and Pradyumna, you like you all are on the different places. So have
Yeah.
you met each other
No.
in person?
Yeah, and I met Raghu on Facebook, and Raghu informed me about Pradyumna, and that's how we all three met. But virtually, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I think that's all for today. And if you have further questions, just feel free to ask it in the Discord channel. So let's see what we have for the next week. I'll inform that in the Discord group. So thank you all for joining, and especially thank you, Pradyumna, for answering all these questions, and Raghu as well. That's it. Have a nice Sunday, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.